Hey artists! Today we are going to be talking about the word tradition. What do you think the word tradition means? A tradition is the sharing of a culture's beliefs and customs from parents to children over many years. This can also be said as from generation to generation, so sharing beliefs or customs from generation to generation. For example, some families eat special foods for a holiday or special occasion, like eating cake for a birthday. Another tradition is singing the birthday song and blowing out candles. Not everybody does that, but it might be a tradition that your family or your friends might have. A tradition can also be something your family does together all the time, like reading a story every night before bed or eating waffles every Sunday. Those are just a few examples, but what traditions does your family have? For our lessons this week, we are going to be looking specifically at traditions of two Native American tribes. There are 574 Native nations in the United States today, and each holds its own unique set of traditions that are handed down through the generations. We are going to be focused on two tribes. These tribes are the Assiniboine and the Sioux. We're going to practice how to pronounce their names because you might not think that that is how these two words are said, but we are going to practice to make sure that we're pronouncing them correctly. So the Assiniboine and the Sioux tribes are who we're going to be talking about. The Assiniboine and the Sioux are two separate tribes from the Northern Plains region, both situated on the Fort Peck Reservation in northeastern Montana. So these two different tribes both live together on a reservation in Montana. So we live over here in Washington, D.C., and the two tribes we're talking about live over here in Montana. The Sioux are made up of three distinct but related groups that are separated by language dialects: the Lakota, Dakota, and Nakota. And those groups are further divided into several bands. So the Fort Peck Reservation, which we see right here, this is where it's located in the state of Montana, include different bands of Sioux and Assiniboine tribes. So let's look. The Fort Peck Sioux include the Sisseton, the Wahpetons, the Yanktonais, and the Teton Hunkpapa bands. The Assiniboine bands represented at Fort Peck are the Canoe Paddler and the Red Bottom. So those are all of the bands included in this small reservation, and we're going to be focused on them for this week. Historically, the Sioux and the Assiniboine had much larger areas of land where they lived, but currently there are some Native Americans from those tribes that live on this reservation. Among the Assiniboine and the Sioux, cultural events and celebrations require special clothing. Some occasions for which Plains people wear traditional clothing today are weddings, naming ceremonies, where a person gets a name in their native language, community celebrations, and powwows, which are Native American dance festivals and competitions. Can you think of special clothing that you might wear for a special occasion? A tremendous amount of time and effort goes into making the traditional clothing of the Assiniboine and the Sioux. The way the clothes are made, which shows a great respect for animals in the land, has been handed down generation to generation, making it a tradition. We are going to learn some more about these traditions over the rest of the week. What questions do you still have?